It was raining. Hard. The kind of night where you stay inside, where you lock your doors, where you don't let your kids out of your sight. But at 4 a.m. on February 14th, 2000, a truck driver saw something that didn't make sense. A little girl, 9 years old, walking alone on Highway 18 in the middle of a storm. When a second driver turned around to help her, she ran straight into the woods, and she never came out. This is Vanished Case Files, where we uncover the truth behind real disappearances that changed families forever. I'm your host, and today we're investigating one of the most haunting mysteries in American history, the disappearance of Asha Degree, the 9-year-old girl who left her home in the middle of the night and walked straight into a storm. 9 years old, terrified of the dark, terrified of dogs, terrified of storms. And on the night she disappeared, all three of those things were waiting for her outside. Asha Degree. That's the name they still say in Shelby, North Carolina, 25 years later. They called her Shelby's sweetheart, a shy, cautious fourth grader who loved basketball, church, and her family. She lived with her mother, Ikela, her father, Harold, and her older brother, O'Brien, in a quiet neighborhood where everyone knew everyone. The kind of place where kids still played outside, where doors stayed unlocked, where nothing bad ever happened. Until February 14th, 2000. That day started the way most Sundays did. Asha and O'Brien went to church with their family, then came home in the afternoon. Normal, routine, safe. But something had happened 2 days earlier that stuck with Asha. She was a star point guard on her elementary school basketball team, the Falston Bulldogs. Competitive, driven. The kind of kid who hated losing. On Saturday, February 12th, Asha fouled out during a game. Her team lost, their first loss of the season. She blamed herself. She cried with her teammates afterward. Her parents said she seemed fine later that day, that she'd gotten over it. But had she? February 13th, 2000, 8 o'clock p.m. Asha and O'Brien go to bed. They share a room. 2 beds, 2 kids, 1 doorway out. Around 9 o'clock p.m., the power goes out. A car had crashed into a utility pole down the street. The whole neighborhood went dark. The Degrees couldn't give the kids a bath that night because there was no hot water. Ikela planned to wake them at 5:45 a.m. instead, an hour earlier than usual, so they could bathe before school. Harold Degree worked the night shift at a local factory. He came home around 12:30 a.m. when the power was just coming back on. He checked on the kids. Both were asleep. At 2:30 a.m., Harold checked on them one more time before going to bed himself. Both kids were still there, still safe. Or so he thought. Sometime between 2:30 a.m. and 4 a.m., Asha got up. She didn't just wake up. She planned this. Her backpack was packed, not the way a parent would pack it, the way a child would. Random clothes, family photos, her basketball uniform, a few other personal items. She took her house key. She didn't take a coat, even though it was freezing and raining outside. And then, she left. No forced entry, no sign of a struggle. She unlocked the door and walked out into the night. Around 4 o'clock a.m., a truck driver is heading down Highway 18 in the rain. He sees something that stops him cold. A small figure, walking south along the highway, alone. A little girl, long-sleeved white shirt, white pants, about 1.3 miles from her home. A few minutes pass. Then, another driver sees her. This driver turns around. He's worried. It's 4 a.m. in the middle of a storm. No child should be out here. He circles back 3 times, and on the 3rd pass, the girl sees him. She runs. Not toward help, not toward the road. Into the woods, into the darkness, into the storm. The driver said later that there was a storm raging. Wind, rain, cold. And a 9-year-old girl who was terrified of the dark just ran straight into it. Neither witness called the police that night. They didn't know who she was. They didn't know she was missing. It wasn't until they saw the news the next day that they realized what they'd seen. 5:45 a.m. Asha Degree wakes up to get her kids ready for school. She opens the bedroom door. O'Brien is in his bed. Asha's bed is empty. Asha checks the bathroom, the living room, the kitchen. The car's outside. Nothing. She calls family members nearby. No one has seen her. At 6:40 a.m., Asha calls 911. The search begins immediately. Police, FBI, State Bureau of Investigation, hundreds of community volunteers. Search dogs are brought in, but the heavy rain from the night before has washed away any scent trail. They search a 2 to 3 mile radius around where Asha was last seen. Woods, fields, abandoned houses, wells. Every possible place a child could have ended up. They find nothing. But a few days later, Asha notices something. Asha's favorite jeans, blue with a red stripe down the side, are missing from her closet. Asha didn't just leave, she packed. Around the same time, an upholstery shop owner finds something strange in her tool shed. A white 1996 Atlanta Olympics pencil, a green marker, a Mickey Mouse hair bow. Police confirmed the items belonged to Asha. The shed was about half a mile from where she was last seen. Investigators also find candy wrappers in the shed, the same kind Asha had received at a basketball tournament the weekend before she disappeared. It's the first real clue, proof that she made it that far. But then the trail goes cold. For days, nothing. No trail, no answers. Just a 9-year-old girl, gone. 18 months pass. The case is still open, but leads have dried up. Then, on August 3rd, 2001, a construction worker was clearing land along Highway 18 in Burke County, about 30 miles north of where she was last seen. He finds a black trash bag buried in the dirt. Inside that bag is another black trash bag, and inside that second bag is a small backpack with Asha's name and phone number written on it. The backpack is intact. Inside are some of Asha's clothes and personal items. Police search the entire construction site. They don't find anything else. But forensic testing on the backpack reveals something shocking. DNA evidence, not just Asha's. For years, that evidence led nowhere. Then, more than 2 decades later, in 2024, investigators made a major breakthrough. They announced that DNA from items in the backpack had been linked to Annalee Deadman Ramirez and a man named Russell Underhill. That discovery shifted the focus of the case. Investigators' attention turned to members of the Deadman family, including 3 sisters from Cleveland County who were teenagers at the time. And as investigators revisited the past, a new detail came forward. In 2024, a man came forward with a claim investigators took seriously. He said that years earlier, in the mid-2000s, he had been at a house party with the Deadman sisters. He said he saw the eldest sister, Lizzie, drunk and crying, sobbing, out of control. And then she said, "I killed Asha Degree." According to the witness, her sister Sarah immediately grabbed Lizzie and told her to shut up. The witness took a polygraph test. He passed. But polygraphs aren't admissible in court in North Carolina, so even with his testimony, there's no arrest. In September 2024, investigators executed search warrants on multiple properties owned by the Deadman family. They towed a green 1964 AMC Rambler from one of the homes, similar to the 1970s green Lincoln or Thunderbird that a witness claimed they saw Asha getting into the night she disappeared. No human remains were found, but investigators say they recovered multiple items of interest. The Cleveland County Sheriff's Office then made a significant update. Asha Degree is believed to be a victim of homicide. Why did Asha leave? Was it the basketball game? Was she running towards something? Or away from something? Investigators found 2 items in her backpack that might hold answers. A Dr. Seuss book, McElligot's Pool, borrowed from the Falston Elementary School library in early 2000, and a New Kids on the Block concert t-shirt with a red collar. Neither appeared to have belonged to Asha before they were found in her bag. Police have never explained how these items connect to the case. They've only asked, "If you recognize this book or this shirt, call us." Did someone lure Asha out? Did someone promise her something? Was she meeting someone she trusted? And the hardest question of all, where is she? In 2020, Asha Degree spoke publicly about her daughter for the first time in years. "I believe she's still alive," she said, "and until somebody can prove me wrong, I'm still going to believe that." Her voice broke. "We're hoping and we're praying that she's had a halfway decent life anyway, even though we didn't get to raise her. We've missed everything, but I don't care. If she walked in the door right now, I wouldn't care what I missed. All I want to do is see her." Every year, the Degree family holds a prayer walk. They start at their home and walk the same route Asha took that night, ending at the billboard on Highway 18, where she was last seen. Hundreds of people show up, because in Shelby, North Carolina, they don't forget. Asha would be 34 years old now. The FBI created an age progression photo in 2020, showing what she might look like today. Billboards across North Carolina still show her face. A reward is being offered for information leading to her discovery. Detective Tim Adams, who's worked this case for years, said it best. "It's not a cold case. We're not going to let it go. This is something we really feel like can be solved, and we're determined to solve it." Somewhere in North Carolina, in the woods, in a place no one has thought to look, the truth about what happened to Asha Degree still exists. Still waiting to be found. This has been Vanished Case Files. Asha Degree isn't just another mystery. She's a daughter, a sister, and Shelby's sweetheart who's still deeply missed. Keep the discussion respectful in the comments. If you want more investigations into cases that deserve answers, subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm Vanished Case Files. Stay curious, stay respectful, and remember, every case is a real person who deserves to be remembered.